Hey guys, Björn Friedrich here. The bad news is I just got hip resurfacing surgery and I will be out teaching Jiu-Jitsu for a few weeks. However, the good news is I have pre-recorded a lot of stuff, a lot of content, and you will get videos, new videos every week. So if you like our channel, please subscribe it. Give our videos a like. Of course, check out our shop at Gumroad with great prices and a great coupon code. Spring 2023, you will get 40% off your order, which is amazing, I think. And if you like Jiu-Jitsu and MMA gear, check out X Martial, our sponsor, and you will get 10% off your order and you support my work in my YouTube channel. So guys, thank you very much and have fun with the new video. Welcome to my new video. My name is Björn Friedrich and today I'm here to explain to you why I think effortless Jiu-Jitsu is the only Jiu-Jitsu that makes sense, at least for me. When I started Jiu-Jitsu, I started in the mid-90s. I saw Royce Gracie in the UFC and I was amazed about how this small guy can beat all the big guys without much strength and without much aggression. I was doing striking training before, I was doing karate, I was doing Wing Chun, and you need aggression, you need power, you need all these attributes to beat a bigger guy, Not only to beat a bigger guy, but also to beat a guy at your size. When I saw Royce doing that to all the bigger guys with so much strength and effort, I was really amazed and I wanted to learn Jiu-Jitsu. And basically, from the beginning, I was always fascinated by the idea of using technique instead of using strength. That was how I started my Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, the 90s went by, and the 2000s and the 2010, and like all of you, I saw the trend. I saw how Jiu-Jitsu became more and more an athletic sport. When you look the ATCs in the last year, you could see how strong and powerful and athletic these guys are. And there is no question, these guys are amazing fighters, and they brought Jiu-Jitsu as a sport to a very good and a very high level. However, for me, as someone who's doing it for 30 years and for someone who is on the wrong side of the 30, being 45, for me, Jiu-Jitsu only makes sense when it is effortless. In other words, it's great what these young athletes can do, but it doesn't matter for myself. It doesn't matter for my own style. It's not, I don't do with 45 what these young guys do. I cannot do what these young guys do. So for me, effortless Jiu-Jitsu is the main focus in my training. That's why I call my YouTube channel Effortless Jiu-Jitsu. It's not just a buzzword, it's the single most important term that is describing my Jiu-Jitsu. And I think if you are on the wrong side of the 30, if you are 35, 40 or 45, it should be the most important focus for you too. Why? Very simple. Think about it. Strength, explosiveness, speed. All these qualities are amazing. And when you're young, you can develop all these qualities. And I'm honest with you, I'm 45, but still I'm in good shape. I have strength, I have endurance, I'm not that slow. But one thing is different, and that is resilience. I'm nowhere as resilient as I was when I was 25. And the problem is, if you are basing your game on speed, power, and explosiveness, injuries are likely to happen. Because if you drive a car against the wall with 10 miles per hour, it's not that bad as if you would drive the car with 100 miles against the wall. Same with Jiu-Jitsu. If you are fighting like crazy, if you are going as fast and as explosive you can be, you will hurt yourself, you will injure yourself, And when you get older, injuries became more frequently, maybe, and they don't heal as fast. And then what happens is you lose confidence. When you have a fast, explosive game, but you have had many injuries, you will lose your confidence in your fast and explosive game because you're scared of another injury, and you will not be able to go as ruthless as you were going when you were 25 or 30. However, if you base your game on being effortless, then things change. Because being effortless means there is not much effort in your body. There is not much use of speed. There is not much use of strength. There is not much use of power. And therefore there is less risk for injury, and therefore there is more confidence in what you are doing. Because you know it's not that bad for your body. So what I mean? Well, very simple. If you have a fast game, a fast and loose and explosive game, you know, this is not effortless. And this will not age very well. What you need is, in my opinion, from the aggressive, active perspective, you need a tight, slow, methodical game with pressure. You need to focus on taking away space with the right positioning, with, like I said, pressure, and with very tight connections. You know, you're not passing and jumping from one side to another. You're grabbing, you're controlling, you're squeezing. You're more like a boa than you are like Speedy Gonzalez, you know. So you need to be very tight in your game. That's the one thing. The next thing is, if you are bad with escapes or prevention, like I call it, you know, in many ways, then you have a problem too. You know, if you are, let's say you have a pretty good guard from the bottom, but you have bad side control escapes, then you know that whenever someone passes your guard, you're done. So you will put all your effort in not getting past. However, that means that you need a lot of energy, especially in someone who's younger, maybe heavier, maybe more skilled. You put a lot of effort into it, you will get tired, and eventually you will get past. And then you are tired and in a position you are not very good at. However, if you have a decent or good guard and also decent and good side mount escapes, also mount escapes, you know, also back mount escapes, then you know if someone is passing you, it's not over and it's not done. You're still in a position of control. You're still in a position where you can launch your counterattack, where you can get your sweep, where you can maybe get your guard retention, or maybe sometimes a submission even. So the point is, if you are very well versed in escaping, you can keep the overall effort pretty low. Like I said, if someone passes your guard, you know you can go to a certain percentage of exhaustion and intensity, but if this is too high and you feel, hey, it is not worth to go with more intensity here, then you just allow him to pass and you work from side control. Try to back up and go back in half guard or get a sweep or whatever, you know, get a submission or whatever, you know. So, in my opinion, to be effortless, you have to have confidence in any position. One of my internal martial arts teachers, Alex Kostic, he said, wherever you are, you should feel at home. And I think this is a very, very good quote, you know. Wherever you are, you should feel at home. If you are on the bottom of the mount, if you are in back control with your partner having your back and trying to choke you, if you are in a headlock, if you are in side control bottom, you should feel at home. You should feel okay. You should feel that you are able to survive. You should not only feel, but you should be able, you know, to survive and to escape. And that is a very, very important point. If you can combine a tight, methodical pressure game with amazing positional escapes, that's a very, very good thing to be effortless. Another thing which is important, which most people don't think about, is that you should not focus too much on submission escapes when you're older. You should focus on submission prevention. Give you a simple example. When you pass someone's guard and you pass standing, you know, and you end up in some leg entanglement for, you know, single leg X or backside 50-50, whatever, you know what can happen. If you are ending up in this position, and you're a little older, and your opponent is young, strong, and ruthless, you don't want to escape there. You know, the risk to get injured is so high that you better tap. But if you say, okay, I pass this guy's guard, and I have certain tools, I pass on my knees, and I have certain grips, and I have certain positions where I do not allow him to enter into my legs, that is much better for you. Because if you don't allow him to enter in your legs, if you prevent the leg lock or you prevent the arm lock, you prevent the position first from which your opponent can attack, then you are much more safe. And especially, like I said, if you are on the wrong side of the 30, if you are 40, 45, you do not want to sacrifice your heel and say, oh, maybe I can roll out of this. Maybe not. That's not your mindset. Your mindset is, hey, get away from my arms, get away from my knees, get away from my feet. I do not want to allow this position to happen. So let's recap it here. If you have strong pressure game, tight, methodical, if you have good positional escapes, that means it doesn't matter where you end up, you feel very good and you are strong and you are able to escape, and you know how to prevent the most frequent and most common submissions, then basically you have by positioning, not by escaping, but by positioning. Then you have basically three very important things that can help you to be effortless. You know, and being effortless means that you can keep the level of speed, the level of explosiveness, the level of physical exhaustion to a pretty low level. But like I said, this is not something you just can do with every jiu-jitsu technique in the world. You need certain parameters, you need certain principles. Like I said, if you have a loose passing game, this will not work slow. This will not work without effort. Look at the best loose guard passes in the world. They are machines. They are going like crazy. They jump from the left to the right, you know. These guys are not effortless. These guys are amazing athletes that can connect many techniques with a lot of speed and a lot of endurance. And they can do this for the whole time of the match, you know. That is exactly the opposite from effortless, you know. For you, it's important to have a game. Let's say you want to pass someone. You need to be, first of all, be in a safe spot. You need to be able to use your body weight, your pressure. You need to connect to your opponent. You need to slow things down. You need to stay in certain positions, just to stay, just to let him work, just to catch your breath, just to exhaust him. And then using connection and using your body weight, which is both very important, and step by step moving forward, breaking the structure of your opponent, and then getting half guard or getting side control or even getting mount. Once you're there, what you're doing? Using your body weight. That's the main point. Pressure. You know, connect to your opponent, use pressure, break his structure, tire him out, look for your best submission without sacrificing position. You know, that means maybe not a rolling back take for you or whatever, you know, but maybe Americana, maybe an arm triangle choke, and maybe a tight back take from the mount with the gift wrap, for example. All these low percentage, not low, high percentage, but low risk moves. With pressure, with connection, with being tight, you know, and then you get the submission. If you do not get the submission, then you might get reversed and you end up on the bottom. You have a tight closed guard, or you have an open guard with a good 2-on-1, have a good control, can slow things down, pull your opponent in your control, pull your opponent into your game of closed guard, half guard, whatever, side guard. Personally, I prefer side guard a lot. And then you, again, build up your game, build up for sweeps, build up for low percentage, low risk, high percentage submissions. You know, maybe you sweep him again, get back on mount, get pressure, you know. And if in the process someone is trying to attack you with arm locks or triangles or leg locks, whatever, you should be able to prevent by positioning yourself. That's a very important thing. If you have these three things, then there is more to it, you know, but these three concepts will really help you. Ask yourself, do you have it? If you have these three things, if you have these three principles down, integrated in your game, then chances that you will be able to become more and more and more effortless are pretty high. If not, then you know what you have to work on. And you know, in my opinion, it's not my opinion only. It's not my personal preference. I have actually experienced it. When I was a young guy, when I was a young brown belt, you know, in physical peak shape, no injuries, you know, I rolled with older black belts. I rolled with guys in their 40s, guys in their 50s, and they absolutely played with me. You know, they played with me, effortless. You know, they played effortless with me, and not just in Jiu-Jitsu. Like I said, I'm a practitioner of internal martial arts for 15 years, and I have seen and felt people who grabbed me with 3 fingers and threw me right through the room, not by any kind of esoteric energy, but by body mechanics. You know, by pure body mechanics. I got touched by people with their fist, and I went down because the punch was so hard, with 0 distance maybe, you know. So I know that the body is capable of doing very, very strange stuff, and you can achieve a lot with doing less, you know. That is not easy, you know, don't get me wrong. Effortless doesn't mean lazy. Effortless doesn't mean not training. Personally, when I'm not injured, like right now, usually I train 3-4 times a week Jiu-Jitsu. I train conditioning. I do my internal work. I train 10 times a week. But what I'm not doing, I'm not training to be like 25. I'm training to be effortless. And that is very different. You know, smart training to be effortless is very different from hardcore training to be 25 again, which will never work, by the way. So if you are interested in becoming more effortless, think about these 3 principles. Think about a tight pressure, methodical game. Think about good positional escapes. Think about prevention of submissions. Once you have these 3 things down, it's a great starting point for effortless Jiu-Jitsu. But there is more. So if you are interested in effortless Jiu-Jitsu, check out my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is full of my videos all about effortless Jiu-Jitsu. You know, not just a buzzword, really, it is effortless. That's my whole goal. And if you like my YouTube channel, check out my instructional videos in our shop at Gumroad. There is great stuff, you know, there are very unique, very innovative titles. You know, I have done videos, you know, with unique content you don't get anywhere. So this is really interesting stuff if you are into effortless Jiu-Jitsu. And of course, if you want to, don't forget, if you get something in our shop, use the coupon code SPRING2023. You get 40% off. That's a great price, I think. If you're old school and you like more DVDs and not downloads, check out Voodoo Videos. They have all my stuff. Voodoo Videos, by the way, is great. They have great stuff. And if you are into MMA BJJ gear, if you look for new rush guard or new shorts, check out X Marshall. You will get 10% off your order with the coupon code Björn Friedrich. And of course, you will support my work and my channel. So I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Put it in the comments or write me personally, you know. I'm glad to help you. I'm glad to answer your questions. And I hope I can get some interest in you for being effortless, because I think if you are a little older and you are planning to do Jiu-Jitsu for the next 30 years, effortless Jiu-Jitsu is the way to go, and maybe I can help you with your journey. Thank you very much, and see you next time.